Hey everyone, I hope you're having a good day. I'm sure you are since today is Patch Notes Day. Let's go through and look at all the new stuff we are getting in Path of Champions. Alright, so let's see. New mechanics. Yep, we've talked about all of this before. Path of Champions. Wow. So normally, man, how the things have changed. Now the first section is Path of Champions. Before, Path of Champions would just have its own maybe little tab at the bottom, or sometimes they wouldn't even list it in the patch notes. This time it's at the very top. That's awesome. So new champions. Mordekaiser, here are his star powers. We've already talked about these earlier. Morgana, her star powers, awesome. Elder Dragon, his star powers, awesome. We do have videos covering all of their star powers, so we're going to move on at the moment. Ashe, she's taking a break from our patch notes. She's back from her vacation now and ready to tackle the Path of Champions. So this is just a joke that they accidentally have added Ashe in the past, and then they did it intentionally later as a joke. That's what that is calling back to. New powers. Okay, so when you summon a created ally, grant it 2/2. I'm not seeing what rarity this power is, but summoning a created ally, that will be pretty interesting. That could be really good for Nico when you use Grand General Counterplan and Disguise. You make a copy of that card. So that could go really well. This would be great for Aurelian Soul. That is awesome, though, getting some new powers. Undying Legion, the first time an ally dies each round, revive it. The first time an ally dies each round, revive it. Okay. Not sure why it's copied twice. But that's an awesome power. Letting it free death every round, you're just going to immediately revive it. That is good, especially because that revive, that we can trigger any on-death effects for it, but as well as triggering any summon effects for it. That's actually quite strong. That'll be fun to play with. Again, I wish we got the rarities here. Phantom Pranks. When an ally dies, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. This is really good, just getting a baseline prank of this, or this is a baseline power instead of having to have your Phantom Prankster on the board. This will be really good. And for a lot of these powers, you can normally get multiple versions of them or multiple copies. So getting this a couple times, this is going to be very good for a lot of different decks, especially Mordekaiser. All right, Inheritance. When an ally dies, grants it power to a unit in hand. That is also amazing. Man, we're getting a lot of good powers. This is awesome. So that's good on so many people. Deep Cuts. When an ally strikes the next enemy nexus, curse the enemy with Ichor. This is actually really good. So what this is, it's a 3-cost curse. Deal 1 to the enemy nexus. So they have to spend 1 mana, or they have to spend 3 mana to get rid of that card, because it's putting that card in their deck. And if they don't spend that 3 mana, then it's just going to take 1 damage every round. So this is actually a great power, giving you some extra damage, as well as being able to put a bunch of these curses in the enemy hand, making them spend mana. Very strong power. Easy Prey, game start, summon 2 husks. Not bad. Like, yes, this will be decent for Evelyn, but every champion, you're just getting essentially 2 free keywords and some extra stats. That's awesome. So many powers. Man, unlimited power. The first spell each round costs 10 less. Man, I really wish we knew the rarities of these so we could actually tell how likely we are to get them. That seems crazy. So essentially, the first spell you play each round is free in the vast majority of situations. That is crazy, because there's some amazing spells that are normally just way too expensive. If you get this power, you're suddenly going through all the shops and whatnot, trying to find the craziest spell you can. That's awesome. New relics. Let's see what that is. So Wicked Harvest. Play, deal 3 to all other units. This will be the enemy units and yours. 3 damage is a good amount. That's going to kill the vast majority of units. This is going to be great for a lot of decks, such as Mordekaiser, where if you play this on Mordekaiser, even if you kill your own units, he'll just revive them, so it's not a big deal, and it'll help him immediately level up. But this will just be great board clearing. This will be amazing for Volibear. This will be a lot of fun. Again, we don't quite have the rarity yet. I would think that this would just be a rare relic, but who knows? Okay, so they're saying that this is an epic relic. This one, they don't have that, so it must be rare. Disciple of Shadows. This is already in the game. I cost 1 less for each ally in play. Play, deal 3 to all other allies. This legendary relic will be a special offer for a limited time in the Emporium. It'll be available until February 7th, so make sure to pick it up before it's gone. So this is awesome. I luckily have this relic, but it's essentially the best epic relic currently in the game, or at least one of the best. Really good on a lot of champions, especially Mordekaiser that they're adding. At least it should be. Editor's note, players can only have one copy of this relic. Those that already own it should not see the offer in their Emporium. And if you acquire one through a golden reliquary, you will not be able to purchase it. So, alright, it doesn't say whether or not this is going to be available for Stardust or if this is a relic you'd have to spend real money on. But awesome that they're at least making this available for people to directly acquire, since so many people really want this relic. That's pretty nice. Alright, new items. So Immortal, 1 power, and Deathless. So this will be able to get on your units throughout a run through different items. You might see this on some cards in like the shop or something. Not bad. Phase Favor. So another item, faded and becomes Fey. Alright, editor's note, this item can only appear on 4 cost cards and lower. So not bad. Faded. You get 1/1 when you target this with a spell if it's the first time each round. So it's a decent keyword to give your card, but then also it becoming Fey is going to be very important for all the keyword decks, or not keyword, the subtype decks such as Nico. Coven Events, the event pass. All right, let's take a look at this. We're going to get 3 card art, or card backs that is, pretty cool. A bunch of emotes, these all look pretty awesome. And then this looks like 3 card skins, that also looks awesome. So they're not showing currently what we're actually going to get for Path of Champions. Let's scroll down, see if we get something else. Purchase before December 20 and get an exclusive quest that gives you 20 tokens and a rare prismatic chest. The event ends and pass expires on January 18th. So we have about 2 months to complete this. All right, let's move on. Looks like Path of Champions adjustments. Awesome. Power is a new keyword found only on relics, and it's pretty straightforward. When the game starts, it creates that relic's ability as a power. This opens up a lot of new opportunities for us, and we're excited to use this on more relics in the future. They tested this out with Starforged Gauntlets to see if they could get it running, and so they've been buffing all the epic relics. Awesome, so let's take a look. Sadly, the icons haven't loaded in yet. Found Fortune, play, draw a card that costs less than my base cost, grant it a epic item, and reduce its cost to 0. So that was the old effect. Now it's play, draw the highest cost card that costs less than my base cost, granted an epic item, it costs 0. So this is going to be much better. Now you know what card you're going to be pulling out. So you can plan around this and use this on many more champions. This makes the relic much better. Can't wait to test this out on a lot of champions because this was, I think, the first relic I actually got. Next up then, Spirit of the Buru. Other 1-cost allies have Overwhelm, Quick Attack, and Fury. That was the old effect. Now it's a power, so it's always going to be activated throughout your run. Allies that cost 1 or less have Overwhelm, Quick Attack, and Fury. This is actually very important because now it can affect your champion, whereas before it's just other 1-cost allies. And now even if you reduce down the cost so they cost nothing, which you can do for a lot of 1-cost spells and units, it's still going to have the effect. Now this is obviously still aimed for the decks that just use a lot of 1-cost units, but it's still very good. Or this buff now makes it very good, or much better than it used to be. Packed Powder, old, Plunder I cost 1 less, and then 1/1 for each different rounded damage nexus. Now it's going to be Plunder I cost 2 less, and then the still same effect. Very good. Now they're actually just making it so it's a better version of the Scourge of Stash, and if you use them both together, getting 4 cost reduction. Really nice change here. Going to make this relic even better on the few champions you want to run it on. The Beast Within. The old effect was allies with the subtype have 1/1 and Overwhelm. Very niche and hard to use. Now it's going to be a power that allies have Overwhelm, so it's just a better version of Troll King's Crown. And now if they have a subtype, they have 1/1. So this is really good, making it a lot easier to use, and it will still have its niche of being better for those champions that try to get a lot of subtypes. Next up, Oath of the Guardians. The old effect was just play, shuffle 5 level 2 champions into your deck and double their stats. Now you're having that same effect of shuffling 5 level 2 champions into your deck, and now you're also drawing one of them. So that'll be very good. Before, you could only really use this if you had a lot of draw to be able to try to shuffle through your deck and try to find them. Whereas now you're at least getting one of them, so that'll be very nice. Portal Pals, when I'm summoned, create a random 7-cost unit from your regions and reduce its cost by my base cost. Now it's when I'm summoned, create 2 random 7-cost units from your region and reduce their cost by my base cost. So just doubling the effect, making it twice as powerful as it used to be. Awesome. Echoing Spirit. It used to be just create 7 copies of me in your deck. Now it is game start, create 7 copies of me in your deck. Champion spells cost 1 less. This will actually be very nice because you're obviously going to have a lot of champion spells in your deck because you're having so many copies of this card. And so just further doubling down on what you're trying to do and make that game plan even better is pretty solid here. Chosen by the Stars. It used to be Fated and then Empower 10, Overwhelm, Regenerating, and Challenger. Now it's Fated and Augment, so you should be able to ramp up your power a lot faster so you can hit that Empower 10 even easier. and still has the same effect of Empowered 10, Overwhelm Regen, and Challenger, so making this a little bit better and more usable. Death's Foil, so it used to be when I'm attacking I can't die or take damage, and then now it is +1 power with that same effect of while I'm attacking I can't die or take damage. Not a big buff, but at least it's something. Starforged Gauntlets, not really changing it, but just making it work with the new wording of now it's a power. Alright, Savor Their Scream. So this is Thresh is star powers. So his old star power was round start for each ally that died last round, grant a random ally 1/1. Now it's round start, grant a random ally 1/1 for each ally that died last round, as well as all of their keywords. Also, this is a pretty nice note. So Thresh was originally designed by Dan, who used to be the lead game director, I believe the title was, and he wanted to give him a little bit love before he left. So now the buffs are going to stack on a single ally instead of spreading them out to all your allies. This will be pretty good. Come out and play. So this is Thresh's 2-star. So it used to be Thresh costs 1 less for each ally you've slain this game, and now it's Thresh costs 1 less for each ally that died this game. This will actually be much easier to achieve and will give you much more consistent cost reduction, so that is absolutely awesome. So here's the second rank of the star power. Round start, grant a random ally 1/1 for each unit that died last round, as well as their keyword. So the first one is just an ally. The second one is each unit, so that means even the ones you kill for the enemy. That is massive. Thresh is now going to be amazing with that relic we showed earlier that they're also adding, where when you play your champion you deal 3 to the whole board, because now you can kill your own units and the enemy units and you're still going to get all of those buffs. This is going to make Thresh much better, as well as getting all the enemy keywords as well. So if you're going up against some annoying keywords like double attack, scout, or elusive, Thresh is now going to have a great answer to that. That is awesome. Thresh is going to be so much better now. Alright, so that is about it for the patch. Really big patch. We're getting so much stuff. For one, we're getting the 3 new champions, so that's awesome. We're getting several new powers, actually a good amount of new powers, and they all seem very impactful and they'll be very fun to use. So that is absolutely massive. Everyone is going to be able to get this epic relic. We don't know how much it's going to cost or what you need to use to get it, but the fact that it's available for people to directly acquire is very good. We're getting a couple new items that'll be available on our units. There's going to be a new event. Sadly, they didn't showcase what we're actually getting as far as Path of Champions rewards, so definitely stay tuned as we'll go over that once the patch actually goes live. There's a bunch of new skins that all look really good that they're adding. Again, not something that really matters for Path of Champions specifically, but still thought I'd mention it. They do look really cool. A lot of these Old God or Witch ones, or Coven I guess is more specific. And then they're buffing just about every single epic relic. I think they're buffing everyone except for the Disciple of Shadows, which is absolutely massive. They're reworking slightly Thresh, at least his star powers, where he is going to be way more powerful. A lot of great stuff happening in this patch. Sadly, we didn't get a new region, but still, even regardless of that, a lot of great things coming to Path of Champions. I look forward to covering it all as soon as the patch comes out. If you don't want to miss any of that coverage, definitely like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.